This is a perfect time for a new video because I want to show you what the river does down here. That if you're not careful and you don't use your common sense, and you almost have to use a little bit more than common sense, you could really get messed up. Check this out. This is the view in front of me. Now, which one's the river? This, I believe, is a cut through. This, I believe, is actually the main river over here to the right. The problem is that with the way that it's cut, the cut through's taking away so much water from the main river because it's trying to become the new river that you're not sure if you can make it through what at least used to be the main river, but you also don't know that the cut through has enough water to make it through the cut through. So, decisions. A lot of times it's a lot safer to just go ahead and take that main river channel because it's probably been maintained at least at some point, hopefully. But sometimes you have to turn around and paddle upstream and come back to the cut through. That cut through I'm just not feeling, to be honest with you, even though it's got a good bit of water flow. But the river kind of cuts around this way through this main channel. So I'm not sure how far through the woods that cut through would have to go to get back to the main river, which is my main concern because cut throughs will run out of water. They'll do it in a heartbeat. So, kind of floating back here trying to see what this area looks like. I think I'm going to go with the right hand side, what looks like the main cut. And I'll bring you back and see if we can figure out where this cut through comes in when I get down to it, or either when I have to paddle back up to it to use it. So see, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. So like, you can tell it's an old part of the river because it's literally like coming out here into just like a nasty style mud. And then down there, there's a whole log that's completely across the river. So like, this has been cut off. Which means that I'm not saying I couldn't make it if I continue this way, but it means it's, especially if you get to where it's like almost like you're just paddling through pluff mud, it might mean that the cut through was a better choice. So it still doesn't mean that the cut through is a better choice. It's the decisions you have to make down the Edisto River. So I'm actually going to turn around and go back to the cut through and use it and see where we wind up. So, because this one's like drying up over here. It's literally like I would have to paddle through pluff mud to get through it, and I'm not sure that it's gonna make it all the way back out to where the cut through's at. So to the cut through. All right, so this is the cut through. I'm gonna use it instead. See how well it does me. It's a little skinny, is the only thing that really makes me nervous. But we will see. Like I said, this is the stuff that the Edisto River will do to you. Somebody's cut that log though, which can be a good sign. Let's see what happens. I'm literally gonna paddle with one hand so I can try to take you along with the other. Check out them mushrooms. Not really sure what kind of mushrooms those are. This is an interesting cut through. Cut throughs happen when the river comes up and it flows out through the swamp. And then as it starts to come back down, the river decides that, hey, this path is easier than the other path that we were on. So it keeps that cut through the swamp and kind of funnels out the dirt that was there as the river goes up and down a couple times. And next thing you know, you have a whole new channel instead of the main river. And it cuts off a section of the main river, making the main river essentially a dead lake. So must be what happened here. The only weird thing is this is an unusually long cut through. Usually it's just like cutting through one bend. It's also making me nervous because you can see up here at what looks to be the end of this cut through, a bunch of log jam. Hear that gurgling of the swamp there. So this is always the chance you take with a cut through, that it ends out on you and you don't get back to the main river. Which means I might have to go paddle through that pluff mud because it's not looking so good here. I think I'm gonna stick with the cut through. Let me show you. So I'm gonna skinny over this log, come around the skinny part there and get back in it, try to make it back out to the main river. if this is the worst of it, it's not too bad. I like a little swamp adventure anyway. This is quite the long cut through. I'm still paddling here. I'd have been 3 or 4 bends. So, gonna continue on. Let me show you the other side. That's what I'm kind of going down through. It is a nice one. Like I said, it's got good depth to it. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible camera person. I really need to get a mount, so I can just mount this joker. But the last mount I had didn't work out, so. But I'm gonna ease down here. Like I said, still got plenty of flow. This is what the Edisto will do to you. It'll send you on cut-throughs and swamp creeks and stuff. That's kind of part of the adventure. That's why I like it. It's never the same. It's always changing. But hopefully we find some main river here soon. All right, now I got to get through this. All right, from what I can tell, the main river's up there. I do have to get through that conundrum of limbs. I got through the last limb that I had to hop over, even though it looked kind of nasty. I'm stuck on another one here. I'll scooch off of it like so, and it'll come clear. Get my little cutter or whatever, cut these limbs down and get on through this other snag up here, and I should be back in the main river. Not too bad. Don't use the cut through. Don't use the cut through. It was a bad idea. But let's face it, I'm in too deep. Took a little side here. I'm gonna get back to the main cut through, and then we're riding this out now. I'm gonna cut a couple limbs and stuff. Somebody else has done the cut through before too. I'm not gonna lie to you because there are several cut logs, but yeah, just paddle through the mud. Paddle through the mud on the main river. Do it. Don't take this particular cut through. It's a bad idea. I'm tired. I guess things were going too smooth. I needed a little bit of adventure and hardship to make the trip just really sink in. I really should have stayed to the main river and just paddled through that big mud flood. Oh, I just got over that. Stuck on a little bit of a sandy area. Man, I'm not ending this video until I get back to the main river, whenever that might be. So I have been in the cut through for like 30 minutes now, no lie. Whoever was here before me, I appreciate you because you've cut some limbs that would have been in the way and would have made it tough for me. I've cut a few myself. You can see the sawdust on my front deck maybe. The mosquitoes back here are terrible, so I'm not stopping long, but I want to give you an update. I'm still hopeful to find the main river. Do not take the cut through. Now I'm just downright mad at myself. I got to get through there. I ain't no turning around now. I have to paddle an hour back upstream. So I finally come out on something that looks like it's going back towards the main river. There's a single wide trailer back there, a jet ski, kayaks, fishing rods. It's not like somebody lives back there, but it's almost like a hunting shack or something with the windows blowed out of it. But at least the cut through's opened back up, and I never knew that was there. So that's interesting to know. Add to my database of things I know about the Edisto River. But would not recommend cut through. I'm gonna mark where this comes back into the river at least mentally, if not sneakily, with like a marking on a tree or something that I leave behind, so that I can come back in here and check this out later if I want to for fishing, because it looks like great fishing. And I also know that there's a fishing camp back there evidently, or a hunting camp or something. I thought it was a deer stand at first, but it was the side of a single wide trailer. Do not recommend. Do not take the cut through. Don't do it. I done drank my last Mountain Dew. I got plenty of water and Gatorade left. I even have a Fanta, but that was a little too much for me. So it's the first time I've hit this particular cut through. Would not recommend. 0 stars. But at least it brought me to something kind of cool. I'm not going to overly show their stuff because I don't like doing that to too many places. The big mega plantations maybe, but not old boy's little river shack. I ain't gonna mess with him. But anyways, if y'all see me again, it'll be another video if something new comes up. So y'all take care. Lord willing, I'll see you next time.